The dramatic moment Paul Ferris was dragged through a car window by cops during his arrest for brazenly smuggling lethal machine guns to Scotland has been relived by the officer who led the sophisticated operation. Former Scotland Yard senior investigating officer Michael Hallowes has spoken out for the first time to tell how Paul Ferris was captured as part of a police probe involving MI5, Strathclyde Police and the South East Regional Crime Squad. In Operation Abonar, Hallowes' new book on the sophisticated undercover investigation, the former cop tells how Ferris had 3 Mach 10 submachine guns, Uzi magazines, silencers and dozens of blue-tipped and copper-jacketed 9mm ammunition in an Opal Fruits box. Hallowes said the underworld figure Ferris, 59, planned to use the deadly weapons to settle a gangland feud in Glasgow. Telling the story how Ferris was arrested in a dramatic scene on the streets of central London in 1997, Hallowes said Ferris and his associate Henry Sutty were travelling along Upper Berkeley Street in Marylebone when they were suddenly overtaken by 2 nondescript police cars. Then, before they could fully comprehend what was happening, Ferris braked hard to avoid a collision with the first, which had now cut in front. The second boxed them in on their offside, while parked cars prevented any escape along the other vehicle. 6 casually dressed men jumped from the 2 vehicles wearing black baseball caps with checkered bands embroidered with the word police. 2 grabbed Ferris through the open window and forcibly, aggressively pulled him out. He had no chance to resist. Sutty's removal was only slightly more dignified as the detectives opened his door first before wrenching him out. The story in the book claims Strathclyde Detective Superintendent Don McGregor said the guns Ferris was ferrying to Scotland were to settle a gangland feud in Glasgow. Hallowes, now 61, tells on how they were found in the possession of Constance Connie Haworth when she was detained during the 1997 surveillance police operation after Ferris gave her the box. It says Constance Haworth was frustrated at her slow progress in heavy traffic. "What the F are you doing?" she screamed at the man driving the white Ford Transit van as it now overtook her car and then cut sharply in front. Furious, she braked hard to avoid a collision and yelled, hoping its driver or passenger would hear her protests. As she glanced in the rearview mirror, she saw with horror as the dark Range Rover behind shunted gently into the back of her, blocking all movement. She screamed with anger as plainclothes detectives from South East Regional Crime Squad wrenched open the front 2 doors of her car and one pulled the keys from the ignition. "Constance Haworth?" the detective asked. She replied yes. He replied, "You're under arrest for unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition." From the boot of the Vauxhall Nova, another detective wearing forensic gloves had already removed a heavy Opal Fruits box. Inside, he found 3 Mach 10 submachine guns, 6 30 Uzi magazines, 3 silencers and 150 rounds of blue-tipped and copper-jacketed 9mm ammunition. Hallowes, the Scotland Yard detective who led the gun-running inquiry, holds 18 policing awards and commendations and reached the rank of Detective Chief Superintendent. He was appointed Emergency Services Commissioner for the State of Victoria, Australia in 2011. He described the investigation in the book as a trailblazing piece of police work. He said Operation Abonar was groundbreaking. "We were confronted by a gun-running network that relied on anonymous communications to frustrate our attempts to identify them. It was the first time Scotland Yard employed such wide-ranging and pioneering techniques in the lawful exploitation of telecoms data to solve a case. Today, thanks to our work, they are a commonplace in serious crime investigations. Speaking to the Daily Record about the investigation, Hallowes said Ferris being arrested suddenly made sense of all the mobile phone and pager data my team had painstakingly gathered and collected when we got the intelligence from Strathclyde and MI5. It all made sense. This showed guns being smuggled to a genuine crime boss in Scotland. Ferris's full role in the chain was confirmed due to the work of all involved, including the intelligence and evidence gathered on the men supplying him with guns and ammunition by my team and I, he added. Operation Abonar was one of the biggest successes of my career and led to me delivering a speech to the UN General Assembly in New York on countering the illicit firearms trade. The operation stopped another potential 60 Mach 10 submachine guns and 6,000 rounds of 9mm ammunition reaching the gangs in Glasgow, Dublin, London, Manchester and Liverpool. Sadly, the armourer, Anthony Mitchell, had already diverted many to the criminal market before we could get to him and his couriers, he added. Please like this video, please comment, and I would love it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.